What's up? It's Marco back on the Sage of Soccer channel. Today we're going to talk about the USA against Panama friendly. And man, this is a much better result for the USA team. Getting a 6-2 win against Panama. And I know people are going to say that it's Panama, but Panama got to the World Cup last year instead of us. So just going out here, being able to dominate them without Pulisic or Sargent or any of the MLS players, that's a great sign for us. So I want to run through the first half first, then the second half and all the subs who went on after. So starting with the first half, we did let in an early goal. There was a cross put in by Panama. Reggie Cannon didn't exactly close out his man, and the guy was able to run through Miazga and Ream to come up with the goal. So you would have liked to see a bit better communication there. Maybe when you're looking at the center backs and who started, you might have wanted to see Chris Richards in there. He did get to come on, and maybe it was better that he came on kind of late into the game, but just for his debut. But at the same time, you would have liked to see him play a bit more. After that, we had a really good response by this USA team, and just being able to respond like that, that's something that we didn't have before in this team, and that's something good. They work well to win a free kick. Musah does a really good job to dribble through and win that, and Reyna is able to put it in. It was a bit of a fluky goal. He just had a nice shot. I think he got into the head of the keeper, knew what he was going to do, and was able to put it in. Right after that, Adams won. Adams, who was playing really well defensively, he was able to slip through McKennie, and McKennie was able to find Miazga, and Gioacchini was able to put it in. That was actually a third goal. God, what am I talking about? The second one, you had I'm going to say his name right. I have it written down phonetically. Gioacchini was able to score after McKennie won the ball back, and he found Reyna, who got off to Llanez, and his shot got deflected, and Gioacchini was able to score. So good for him. 2 goals from him. That's a great job by him taking his chance. He's going to have to give Berhalter something to think about before the March team and probably the Gold Cup team, because he might have just played his way into it. We're going to get to another striker who had 2 goals later, but overall, it's a really nice first half. The defense, it wasn't really doing with pressure that well. That's a little bit disappointing. I thought Adams was doing pretty well defensively, doing his thing. McKennie as well, winning the ball back. The midfield was the best part of the team in the first half. Weston McKennie and Musah were really carrying the ball forward really well. Musah was he was able to dictate the play, just able to break lines with his dribbling and throwing a lot of passes. As mentioned, he won the free kick that Reyna was able to put in, and just a great game all around by him. Also, the attack, finishing off their chances. Reyna was able to put in a goal, and Gioacchini was able to score as well. I'm looking at my phonetic pronunciation every single time. I'll get it eventually. So really, really good to see. You can't take too much from beating Panama, but as I said, beating a CONCACAF team after facing adversity, that's pretty huge. Another thing I really liked was the players taking on guys a lot more. That's something I mentioned that I would have liked to see more in the Wales game, but you really got to see Musah take on a lot of players. McKennie was doing it. Reyna was really going at it. And I think the stars of this game were really started the first half. Weston McKennie, he's doing great going forward. He also overlaps a lot. Just the amount of energy that he shows to be able to do that and play well defensively and get forward. You really like to see that. He had so much hustle to save the ball for the third goal. Gioacchini really showed his worth to the team, taking his chances, and Musah was probably the most impressive player on the field in the first half. As mentioned, carrying the ball forward. I haven't seen a USA player do that before. Just great job by him. Also, I thought Adams, Reyna, and Dest were also looking really good. Man, we got such a nice team right now. I don't even think I mentioned Dest after he had a good game. There's so much talent in this team right now. That's amazing. So, defense, I think, was the only real question mark. The build-up play wasn't the greatest. Brooks was definitely missed in this game. I really like Miazga and the leadership that he brings, but his play really does have to improve if he wants to keep his spot, especially with guys like Richards knocking on the door. Ream is there. Ream's a left-footed player, so he's not too much of a competition for Brooks. And you got Miles Robertson, Mark McKenzie in the MLS who are really looking to break into this team. So I really want to see Miazga step up because I really like him. I like having him on the field. Like, he's always one of those guys who goes over to the ref. You could tell like he's like a really like a leadership type player out there, but his play needs to step up. The other fullback, Reggie Cannon, he had a really nice second half in this game. He was going forward great. He had an assist, and he was looking like one of our better players. It's going to be a tough choice between keeping Dest on the left or maybe moving Dest to the right and putting on Robinson. Between Cannon and Robinson are really going to have to challenge each other for that second spot. Or maybe even Chris Richards, he was playing there for Bayern. Now that's about all I have to say about the first half. The second half was different. Really slow start to the first half. I think that stamina might be a bit of an issue with everybody right now, which is understandable with how many games everybody has to play right now. But there was one good moment where they were able to work to win a penalty. Unfortunately, Gioacchini missed it, but that was probably our best moment. But overall, Panama definitely had the better start to the second half, and were looking a lot better until the substitutes really got into the game. And while I'm at it, I should talk about the substitutes. Unfortunately, Llanez had to go off with an injury, but that allowed Weah to come on, along with Cardoso, Lenglet, Chris Richards, Richie Ledesma, and Sebastian Soto. Those latter three made their debut, and I think the main guy I want to talk about just at the start was Tim Weah. While he didn't really have the best game, what you saw from him was looking really good. After all those injuries that he was dealing with, he was showing a lot of his athleticism, and on a team that Reyna's not the quickest, Llanez wasn't showing his speed that much, but Weah was just able to come on, and you could see his athleticism right away, and him still having that after all the injuries that he was dealing with, that's great to see. Next, Richie Ledesma looked amazing this game. He was probably the star of the second half. He's just looking amazing on the ball. Just two great crosses into Sebastian Soto, who was able to finish them both. So we had two strikers with 2 goals, and it's been a while since that happened, but just great performances by them. I love to see the substitutes. Chris Richards didn't get as much time as I would have liked, but he didn't really screw up, but he didn't really have anything to do. That's about all there was in the second half, but just with all this depth we have, and we're going to add the MLS players, we really need to qualify for the Olympics this year. Just make sure we can keep people playing, get everybody into this team, because we're doing all of that with just European players, and we're missing a Sargent, a Pulisic. I would have liked to see Julian Green in there. Unfortunately, he didn't get the call up. But between them and all the MLS players, I mentioned Robinson, McKenzie. We're going to have Brendan Aronson. You got Clark in there from the Red Bull. Busio from Kansas City. All those guys, they're going to be in there. And we have to make sure we can get everybody this playing time. I really want to see us qualify for the Olympics. Yeah, that's really all I have for this USA against Panama game. Sorry, I had to do that. Rip Van Halen. And great to see. Great performance by 6 goals. Jeez, that's amazing. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Yeah, I'll see you.